Hello and welcome to the Curator's Salon podcast. I'm Geeta Joshi. This is the third of 5 short episodes about mindset for artists who want to uplevel in their art and business. In the previous episode, we talked about confidence and trust. And in this one, we're going to build on that some more and discuss energy. Energy is something that exists all around us. We know it when we have it. We know it when we feel depleted. And we use this word in describing artwork and even talk about energy in the movements in the market. But in this episode, I wanted to talk about the energy that you're holding around your art and your business, particularly the typical things that I know that hold you guys back, sometimes around visibility or reaching out for collaborations and so on. So I wanted to bring it back to you, the listener, the artist, and how energy affects you, your practice and your business, the energy that you might be carrying or projecting. Now, this is the real work, the inner work, and it's a core part of the one-to-one work I do with my clients, the one-to-one coaching. And it's the same for my guest, Vicky Ross, a transformation coach helping people live life on their own terms. Welcome, Vicky.
Hi, Geeta.
So let's get into it. Energy and thoughts and all of that. It's a whole mashup and we often can't separate them. Can you sort of talk about more about what energy is and how we carry it?
So energy, if we could see it as a wave stream, let's just say if it was in color red, what we would see coming out of our body all around is these red vibrational waves. Okay, so the question is where do these waves come from, or where does this energy come from? And it comes from the emotions that we experience in that moment. So because this energy goes out and energy doesn't stop where your skin is, other people experience your energy. So energy can get created by the emotions, but energy also gets created by the beliefs, because the beliefs that are deep down inside also create those emotions. So let's just say the behavior right now is I'm going to put an exhibition, so I'm busy hanging up my artwork and I want to show it to the public and I want to be recognized. But deep, deep, deep inside of me, I have this belief system or this a limiting belief that says I'm not really valuable or I'm not really good enough. And that creates an emotion of uncertainty or this is never going to happen for me kind of thing. So therefore the emotion is one maybe of anxiety, but the energy that we're putting out there is one that don't bother coming to see my art because it's not really that good. It's not really worth looking at. It's definitely not worth buying. And therefore we get kind of a mixed feeling of I've painted, I have followed all the steps that I need to do, all the practical to-dos. I don't understand why my work is not moving, or why am I not getting recognition, or why am I not getting sales. We don't seem to connect the fact that the deep limiting beliefs that we have this energy that goes out in the world, and that energy provides information. Sometimes when somebody walks into the room, we can look at their physiology and their face expressions and we kind of go, okay, they're not having a good day, or they're not feeling very confident about themselves. But sometimes, people will say the right things, they will smile, everything seems okay on the outside. But when you walk away, you kind of have this sense that this person's pretending, or this person's not being authentic, or they're not being genuine, or they're not they don't have your best interest at heart. And you don't really know why you feel that, but it's just something, because on the outside everything seemed to be perfect, and that is because you're picking energetic information from them. So in the same way, you are giving energetic information out to the universe, so therefore the thing is, we cannot be incongruent. So what do I mean by this? Because this is really important when it comes to understanding energy. If my inside says, I'm not good enough, my work is not good enough, I can't make it happen, or it's going to be very difficult, so you have this energy about it that is going to be difficult. And on the outside, in other words, the stuff that you're living and experiencing shows you the opposite, then it just doesn't make sense. So whatever you believe isn't real and true in the world. So we are talking about coherence here, mind and heart coherence. In order for you to feel that, yes, I am right, everything that you feel and believe about yourself and the predictions that you're making about your future have to show up on the outside so that you can go, you see, I was right. And therefore, it starts with you, it goes out as energy, the energy boomerangs back with the same results that you are putting out there, and therefore you have coherence. If you don't have that coherence, it just wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense.
This is so interesting because, you know, I know that when I've had like good energy around my work, when I totally trust and believe, and that obviously connects back to the previous episode, that is really what I kind of attract in as well. So it naturally makes sense that it would affect all areas of our work.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because, you know, and then this is what we also talked about previously with confidence, that we may be confident about being parents, we may be confident in the way that we can have a relationship with someone, but we may be not confident in our skill or our craft, our art. And therefore, in that particular moment, the energy around that is going to be one to be congruent. The results will be congruent with what you believe. Otherwise, can you just imagine if everything inside of you was going, you know, my art is not good, or it's going to be really difficult, but everything's going really, really easy, and you're getting a huge success and recognition, but you keep going, no, I'm not so good, I'm not so good. It couldn't make sense. So it has to make sense both inside and outside. And because everything starts on the inside, what we see on the outside is actually a reflection in reality. So it is such an amazing thing to recognize and understand, because if what you see on the outside is not what you desire, then you know that on the inside, you're putting out the wrong energy, you're putting out the wrong message about yourself, you're putting out the wrong destination. And it's just an amazing way to go, I need to make adjustments. The adjustment might be in the things that I'm doing, the practical steps. The adjustment might be in what I think about my work. The adjustment might be in what I believe about myself. But what the outside will show you is exactly what you pushed out as energy to the world.
So interesting, particularly when people are putting their work out in the marketplace. You know, you can see the low energy around, you know, even like their social posts and things like that. And I think I mentioned previously about the sorts of emails that people write. It comes across in sort of all areas. You know, it's not just how you might carry yourself physically, but actually, you know, how you show up in all these other digital ways as well. What can people do to change their energy?
So again, something that is it's a pattern here. It's a theme, let's just say. It's awareness. Because if you don't become aware of it, then you get caught into just what you're experiencing on the outside. And what happens, and you know, this happens to most of us, we start identifying ourselves as victims. Because instead of going, all right, so obviously what I'm putting out there is X, and therefore I need to make the adjustments within myself, people are going, why is this happening to me? And the minute we say something like, why is this happening to me? Why can't I make this happen? It's putting yourself into a victim stage. It's almost like saying, well, because you see, your unconscious is going to answer that stupid question. It's going to say, well, you know, there's the coronavirus thing, and, you know, there's an economy down, you know, going down, and there are not just enough people that are interested in your style of art and all of that. So therefore, the outcomes are all dependent on something outside of yourself. And the only way that you could then get results is if whatever's causing the block on the outside changes. And that is an impossibility. We can't change the politics. We can't go and change the economy. We can't change people's opinions about us. But what we can change is the way we respond to what is happening. And therefore, you need to recognize some truths here, that in life, in history, you know, if the economy was booming, people became successful, but people failed as well. And when the economy was on a, you know, there was a depression, or the economy was going down, there was a recession, people were booming and people were failing. So it never has to do with what's going on the outside. It has more to do with what we believe we can do and the choices we make about how we respond to external circumstances. Because we can't control the external, but we can control the way we respond.
Yeah, totally. I think for me, this is really, this is always ongoing work for a lot of people. I think once you become aware and then sort of keeping yourself in that high energy, looking for the opportunities. I've seen, when I've written kind of quite upbeat posts, even in the early days of the Corona lockdown, there were people that were, wanted to reply to my social media posts with, how bad they were feeling about things. But it was my own energy that enabled me to carry on. It would be really easy to sort of go and empathize and sympathize and be brought down by it. But I think you have to sort of hold true to your own energy in that respect.
Absolutely. And, energy will energize you, obviously, and it will make you go, whoa, let's go, let me do it. Let's, you get excited. There's an excitement about the positive energy. But for the same token, the negative energy will make you lethargic. You'll get out of bed and you feel you haven't slept. And it will stifle inspiration. So no matter what level of creativity you engage with, whether you're painting or whether you're dancing, singing, creating courses, if that energy starts with like a down, you don't have inspiration then, and you don't have creativity coming out of you. You don't have a really great problem solving, like, what is the problem that people are experiencing? So therefore, what can I do to support them? And what can I give them as information? Because you get caught up into that down energy. And again, with energy, we have to be really, really careful because people can drain our energy as well as circumstances can drain our energy. So something that I have observed right now in these really weird times that we're in is that when people get caught up with all the social media that is negative, they start to feel negative. They start to feel that victimhood. They start to feel that helplessness and that hopelessness that is going around with so many people. And therefore they take that energy and it becomes part of them. And, there is a sense of belonging in that, but it's not going to give you the outcomes that you want. But for the same token, and again, it's where do you put the spotlight in your life? If you start to focusing on what are the positives about what's going on today and how some people are feeling uplifted, some people are getting clarity, some people are getting, more awareness about what it is that they want to create in their lives. And therefore they have that upbeat energy. If you focus on that, you're going to start feeling that as well. So it is what comes in goes out, and we have to recognize that.
So interesting talking about this. We could go on about it all day, but if you have enjoyed this episode, you'll be pleased to know that Vicky and I have put together a 6-week online course for artists and anyone running a creative business who recognizes that a mindset shift is the thing that they need to show up in their art and their business. You can have all the strategies to grow your mailing list, but in the end, if you're not showing up with the energy and confidence and self-belief, then another strategy might not be the thing that you need. If you know that the energy, confidence, and mindset that you have around your art needs to change for you to fully show up as the artist you're supposed to be, then this course could be for you. We'll be teaching you to change the energy you hold around your practice and business, raising confidence to shine and claim your spot in the art world. We're going to be quietening the inner critic and also rise above comparison, which also holds so many people back. There's also a money mindset for artists part of the program, and that's going to help you uncover blocks around receiving and being paid for the work that might come easily to you. Plus, there's a whole lot more. So take a look at the link in the show notes for details for the program, or find me on Instagram at @Joshi and send me a message there, or you can visit theCuratorsSalon.com. Vicky, thank you so much for this episode. I'm really looking forward to this online program.
So am I, and thank you too.
The Curator's Salon hopes you enjoyed this production.